She's your queen to be. So yeah, like, where is it that it was just like, yo, I'm making a conscious decision that though this person is trash.
Yeah, not good for me.
But at the end of the day, in this area, this is the best I've ever had, and I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know when I came to this phenomenon, like, cause like it's a thing, and it's been a thing.
It's like a thing, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, your mothers warn you. Like, I feel like,
Nah, my mother never warned me. About
my mother warned me, like, men, this is all that they want from you, and this is all that, like, this is it. So make sure you keep your panties on.
Unfortunately, my mom never warned me about dick tube bomb.
My mom always, I was terrified. I'm still, like, getting over, but, like, it was terrifying because the way it was proposed to me is, like, that's what they do. They hypnotize you and they put you under their spell and you're stuck.
You know, I wish somebody would have told me, because, like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, truthfully.
Right.
Like, and the things that I've witnessed other women do and men do when, you know, someone's sex game is just through the fucking roof and you just feel like you're never going to find anything better than that again, the lengths that people will go to are frightening.
You know what's making me think of? Love After Lockup.
I don't think I've ever watched that show.
Like,
oh wait, we didn't even say hi.
Oh,
you see, we got wrapped up. We got wrapped up. We got wrapped up in the dick too bomb. We got wrapped up. It'll do it to you. It'll do it to you.
But the vagina also be too bomb.
Oh, hell yeah.
And people be stuck
on stupid.
Stuck on
stupid.
And I've seen that way more prevalent. Like, I've seen men under the spell of a woman.
You think so?
I've seen it, like, literally, like, it's easier for me to recollect times like that than it being the other way around. But maybe that's because all the women I know are man-eaters.
I have caught myself saying a few times that, like, I feel like that particular woman has, like, a silk lining vagina because I just don't understand what it is about. First of all, she'll have, like, multiple children because, you know, pussy too bomb. Like, he couldn't pull out, so she has all these damn kids walking around. That's definitely a clear sign that someone has been hypnotized by the D. But I think in reverse, the insane shit that women will do because of dick is, like, wild.
I'm really trying
to
think of
committing
examples.
Criminal acts, wild.
Literally, just like the stalking.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, like the stalking.
I mean, well, I stalk my man, but then again, I might have caught a case of dick too bomb. So that kind of does. And when you're in the moment, when you're actually doing the stalking and the things that are out of your character, you don't realize it. You don't realize that you've caught a case of dick too bomb
because you don't realize you're under a spell.
Yeah. So maybe that's really what it is. Maybe these people just don't realize that they've caught it and that they're in it.
So let me ask you this then. So is that, because for me, I'm just like, I feel like the solution to that is you just have to be more careful about who it is that you're dealing with, both guys and girls. Because outside of, like, sleeping together, it's just like, I feel like that's why intention is just very clear. I'm always quick to, and I've talked about this before, what do you want from me? Because we all know what can happen.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, what do you want from me?
That doesn't always work, though. That doesn't always work because you can make your intentions clear, but it's like when you're in heat and the shit is just phenomenal. Like, it'll have you reconsidering a lot of shit. Like, you know that nigga ain't shit. You know he's toxic. You know he's not good for you. And then it's like you're in heat. And then the shit happens, and you're like, maybe it's not that bad.
But literally, it's not that bad. But then when you look at it logically, and on our last episode, you said, I'm a logical person, right?
Yeah, when I'm not hypnotized.
Right. But the thing about it is, you come out of the hypnosis eventually.
Yeah, eventually, until you're in the next round.
Until you end up stalking and you're at this nigga's window and you're like...
No, even then you don't really come out of it because it's like no.
Because for me, I'm just like, let's say, I'm going to give a range. Let's say for like 30 minutes to an hour and a half of pleasure.
An hour?
Look, I'm just giving people a range. I don't know.
I feel like that's a topic in itself. And I got shit to do, my nigga. Like an hour?
I've heard stories.
No. I've heard that too. That's been a whole debate. Like that's way too long. That is way too fucking long.
I'll keep my answers of that to myself because that's not what this episode is about.
Look, we can multitask here. We can multitask. That's way too long. What are y'all doing? An hour? I'm tired.
Look, if you're having fun, you're having fun.
Is that with foreplay?
I would say so. Because it's an experience. You know what I mean? So you begin and you end.
I feel like even with foreplay, that's way too long. An hour? I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know.
That's a good survey question. So
but then again, it's like, okay, are you just having one round that's an hour, or are you having multiple rounds?
I think I've heard both.
You wildin'.
I've heard both where it's like, because I know situations where niggas have gotten so caught up where it's like, you definitely got here at 4:00 and now I'm looking and it's 7.
And that whole time y'all was fucking?
I'm not saying me. I'm just saying, like, in stories where I've been told that was what was happening the entire time, like in a blink of an eye. That's how these girls get caught up.
No, I'm tired just thinking of it. Like, I don't even think that that's a scenario of like getting caught up in being digmatized. Like,
what do you think it is?
I think. There's a lot of factors that go into it.
Because I'm not mad at anybody who has the stamina to go that long.
No, I mean, good for you. It's not my cup of tea. Right. But I mean, I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum.
Okay?
But I think, because like you could have an hour of trash sex. Who would subject themselves to that?
Exactly.
I don't know.
But now if it was an hour of bomb, like I can understand why somebody might get hypnotized under it.
Yeah, that's true.
Both ways. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then again, that's my whole point. An hour of pleasure for 23 hours of your peace being disturbed, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, bro. It's not worth it, sis. Stop. Get out.
Listen, Pep. No, it's easier said than done because in that moment,
she said, "Listen, Pep."
You have so much dopamine that's being released from your brain in that moment that it clouds your judgment of all the fuck shit that went on those 23 hours ago. In that 1 hour of that rush of high, like, it's almost like that's
look at your face.
It's almost like that's how it's like a drug addict scenario. Like you're always chasing that next high.
That next high.
And a lot of people can't come out of it.
But it's just like, let's be clear. It never ends up working, though.
Oh, no, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't.
It never ends up. But then
it literally just extends it until it like caps out. But no, that in order to have longevity, no, that absolutely is not the case. Right? But it's not sustainable at all. But women, at least like, because I'm talking from my point of view, women will put up with a lot of bullshit because the dick is bomb.
And I just don't. And I've just never understood that because guess what?
There's other dick out there?
There's so much.
You know what the problem with that is? You know what the problem with that is? Trial and error. You don't know just by looking at a nigga that he's going to have dick too bomb.
Right.
Some niggas have big dick energy and like, you may think that it's going to be popping and then it's not.
But I feel like that's why prerequisites are important.
Like what?
Like, so I feel like before you engage in sexual intercourse with anyone, they need to be tested. So if you are a bad kisser, you don't get to the next round. You don't get to the next round. You don't. That's just common sense. If a person kisses bad, why would you sleep with them? Why? I don't understand that. So then fine. If you are a good
But not everyone's into kissing though.
Right, and that's fine. So trust me, I got I'm going to take y'all through it, right?
All right, I'm listening.
And so then fine, if you're not into kissing, and especially if that's the type of situation this is about to be where it's just like we're just exchanging fluids, fine. But then it's like, all right, before there's actual penetration, orally, you got to get tested.
Foreplay.
So all that foreplay, your tongue. Let's see how everything functions. If that is bad, why would you sleep with that person?
Listen. Me personally, I'm not going to, because in my opinion, I'm not going to reward bad behavior.
Thank you.
But there are people that do.
And that's what I'm questioning, because I'm like, and guess what? And I've asked this question, I've gotten answers. I've literally had someone tell me, because I don't waste a dick. Like that they would rather put up.
You wildin'.
That they would rather put up with bad dick than not having it at all.
No.
I think that's why. And I think that's wild.
Love yourself.
So then
that's terrible.
Right. And so with that being said, that's the second test, right? Orally. If you can't get it orally, nobody is sleeping with you.
But that's you and I, logical thinkers, right? And we're not rewarding bad behavior.
Right.
But on the flip side, like when it comes to men, what I've heard, a lot of men receive more bad head than good head. But it's like a vagina is a vagina, unless it smells.
But that's the problem with niggas though, because niggas will say, I hit that, it was smelly, this, that, and the third, and they still hit that.
Oh, yeah. I know niggas like that too. But I'm saying like that oral test doesn't really apply to men, because they feel like, yo, her head is still, it could be trash, but her vagina is still could be popping.
And that's because men don't love themselves, because at the end of the
that's
day,
true.
as a woman, I know me, I want everything it's all or nothing. That's how I operate in life. It's not, I want it all. I want everything to be great. And if it's not, I don't want it. That's why I don't be dealing with these niggas.
But also, women could have, like I said, a silk line vagina, and could literally just go off of that and feel like, I don't have to give good head, or I don't have to give head.
Some women don't give it at all.
They don't. I have a vagina and I know it's popping.
Yeah.
So, the oral test doesn't really work in that scenario either.
Well, for women, I don't care. For me personally,
oh yeah. Me personally, if that's trash, we're not going any further.
And let's be very clear, quite frankly, for women, I don't think, especially in situationships and not full blown relationships, I don't think you should be given oral in the first place.
You make a good point.
I just don't think the man is deserving. I think that is a treat, and I think it should be reserved for someone that that's really special to you and that's intimate. Like, that's just not something. And people, and I've heard the argument, well then, what about like sex? Like that the same could be said for that.
Yeah.
And I'm of that opinion. I believe that. That's how, but everybody is different. Everybody has different needs. So if you're looking simply for a situation or someone that is going to literally just satisfy this itch of yours that you can scratch, but you're like, nah, I'd rather have some like body heat coming from it. That's cool. Like, because you set an intention for that situation, but this, and especially I think as women, like, we're so powerful in that, like, we get to demand like what we want. You know what I mean? We have the power. Not a lot of women use that power, but you can literally.
Some people exploit that power.
Exactly. Hey, and I mean, I'd exploit it too, especially if not everybody else is using it. More power for me. So with that being said, it's just like, you know what? I'm gonna set the rules here, and I can.
Going back to what you were saying about like, oh, if the whole like, if you wouldn't give head to this person, like, then you shouldn't be like, doing the next part. Some people will have sex, but not kiss someone. Like, some people think that,
and I believe in that. I think kissing is fucking gross.
Some people think that kissing is more intimate than having sex. Is what I'm saying. Like, a balance wise.
And for me, it's so wild. But a part of me, I don't know. I don't want to say I agree to that extreme, because I think both are very intimate. I think both are very personal.
You think giving head and kissing are on the same level of intimacy?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But not having sex?
No. I'm not saying. I think they're all. I think they're
on the same level.
I think they're all very high on the same level. But that's literally just me. I know generally, like, it's not that deep for people. And I think the views around sex are changing, especially for women, because, like, ain't nobody worried about being called a hoe or this. Go ahead. Say it.
I'm fucking grown.
When niggas is out here sexually liberated, I get it. Howsoever, I still just believe in making men work. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
you're gonna have to work.
Yeah, no, and like we both said, we're not rewarding bad behavior. Like,
Right.
there's no way, like, someone is going to kiss me and make me physically feel ill, and then my kitty cat is going to be turned on by that. No, I'm dry.
Thank
now
you.
I'm dry.
But we've both heard the stories where shit has been horrible, and it's just like, no, but I continued, and I think
I have heard that way too often. And I continued. Why, sis?
And sometimes I feel like, on a serious note, sometimes I feel like women feel that pressure, and they're like, well, I don't know how he's going to react if I don't allow this to keep going.
And that's unfortunate.
And that's really unfortunate. And that's something that we have to deal with as women.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, because I have heard that several times. It's like, oh, well, I already got him started, and like, we were already, I don't give a fuck. If I'm not turned on and I'm not feeling it anymore, I'm not doing it. Like, no, sorry. Like, that is what it is. So it's like, yo, just because you made the again, I don't know what word I'm looking for. Just because you made the decision to go down on me and I didn't enjoy it and she didn't enjoy it, that doesn't mean that I owe you anything after that.
I didn't ask you to do that.
I didn't ask you to do it.
I
didn't force you. You did it willingly.
You're right.
So,
and I get to say no.
Yeah.
Because it's my body.
I can just say no at any point in time. I get to say no. Even if we're already in the act and I'm not feeling it because it's trash, get off me. Like, I'm done.
And you can say,
no,
get off of me. And that's why it's interesting, and I'm so glad we're going here, because, and we didn't even write this down, but it just literally makes me think of these abortion laws that they're implementing, and how even within rape, which is an unwanted sexual act, you're now telling a woman that she can't terminate her pregnancy.
Yeah.
And even if within rape, that's still not an option to terminate her pregnancy.
That's
you
terrible.
got me fucked.
Yeah,
up.
It's awful. The state of the climate is just. I'm speechless at it. Yeah. There was another law that was passed in South Carolina that says once the act has started, you cannot revoke consent, and that is problematic.
And look at what we just talked about, because women are already like, I didn't want to stop, and they're dealing with trash intercourse simply because of that. And now the law is validating this shit.
Yeah.
It's emboldening.
Yeah. It's scary as fuck. It is. That's crazy to me.
And that's why it's just like, you know what? Don't touch me.
Yeah.
Like, just don't touch. And it's funny because people always make fun of me. My partner to this day, when he first met me, because I don't like to be touched. And so when we met at a party, and I walked in there and he was standing at the door or whatever, and it was fine. And in that party, too many people were touching me. I started dancing on the table, and people thought I was crazy. And literally people were like, why are you up there? I was like, because I don't want anybody touching me. Like, don't touch me. Like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's why I just be like, you know what? Don't touch me. Nobody touch me. Just leave me alone. Save you problems. Save me problems. Just don't touch me.
Unless it's dick tube bomb.
But if you're like, don't touch me, then you don't get caught up in that.
You don't, but like,
look at you.
I'm telling you.
Come on, get with the program.
Yo,
you don't fall for it.
Trust me, I don't want people to fall for it. I don't want to be in it. But like, when you're in it, it's hard to get out. It is hard to get out.
I just think it's interesting.
But like, for me, it's like, it's popping if you're in a situation of dick tube bomb and your relationship is popping too. Like, that's the best of both worlds.
Yo, that's goals.
Yeah.
That's goals.
That's what everybody wants.
Right.
But it's like, then again, it's like, okay, you do have your moments where this relationship is not as, like, not everybody's relationship is perfect. But then it's like, well, you think back to the dick tube bomb and you're like, well, maybe we can work it out. Maybe we can fix this. So, but it's the same situation of toxic relationships, unfortunately. It's just too many things that occur that you think like the sex is going to fix it, and it doesn't.
But that's why I think pros and cons are so dope to like outline, because when you really take a step back and look at your shit, I don't care how bomb dick or pussy is, at the end of the day, if your cons outweigh your pros, be out.
Oh, for sure.
Be out. That's the easiest way to discern it. Like, don't It's a non-negotiable. And people think, and men too, they swear that sex and babies fix relationships.
Mm-hmm.
They
That is
do
the complete
not.
opposite.
It doesn't. It's a lie.
Babies especially
It's
do
a lie.
not fix the relationship.
If homegirl don't want to be there, if homeboy don't want to be there, they will be out. I was just listening to the read, and they were saying how there was this woman. She calls herself the egg donor.
Oh, yep, I heard that.
She got pregnant with this man. It was a one-night stand.
She didn't want to have the baby.
She didn't want to have the baby.
Yeah.
He wanted the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, all right, you want the baby? That is fine. I will give you this baby. But literally gave birth to the baby, gave the baby to that man, and is paying 125% of child support just so she never sees that man or that baby again.
Yeah, terminated her parental rights and everything.
Everything, like, here, have them.
And it's crazy because people will think like, oh my God, what type of woman could do that? Look, not every woman wants to have a baby. That's why we should have the choice over our fucking body. It's our body.
And that's why also intent is important.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be a one-night stand. And it ended up like, now you're connected to this person for a lifetime. But you can also, sis put her boundaries, and I respect it.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm better than being an unfit mother, like all these other ones that are running around and not admitting like, yo, I just can't handle taking care of my children. And I see it on a daily basis as a social worker. We take custody of kids all the time.
And it's unfortunate.
Because of parents being unfit and literally just not wanting to say like, yo, I can't handle this no more.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really sad. So again, like, sex is not going to save your relationship or lack thereof.
No.
And neither is a baby.
No.
Get out while you still can. Save yourselves. It's not worth it.
Don't get caught up.
It's not worth it.
Don't get caught up in that dopamine.
I'm like, excuse me, Miss Fufu. Excuse me, Miss Fufu. Excuse me, Miss Fufu.
Our letter is wild.
I'm ready for it.
All right, let's go. All right. So this letter starts out with, hey, y'all, I love your show. Please don't judge me.
Oh, God.
Fu always says she doesn't judge people.
I'm not a judgmental person.
And really y'all know I don't judge people. So, sis, you're safe. And I assume you're a woman.
Oh, well, also, if y'all haven't caught on, we purposely don't, whether y'all give us fake names or not, because, like, obviously some people, Boston is very small. Most of the letters have come from Boston people. Like, we obviously know some of these people and some of them we don't. So we have made a conscious effort to not say anybody's name ever. Right. Like, whether y'all give us a fake name, whether y'all don't, like, or tell us to.
We're just not saying
not saying it. Because it's like 2 degrees of separation. Like, it's way too small. I mean, I'm sure many of these scenarios sound familiar to people. So it's like, y'all can just keep on guessing who it is because we're not going to. It's none of our business to tell you who they are.
Right. So, yeah, I love the show. Don't judge me. So I currently have a friend who is dealing with a married man with kids. She is very aware, and she has told me that she does not want to be with this man. She knows she can't be with this man. And furthermore, I know this man's wife.
Yikes.
And so, but this is also my best friend. And so I'm not too sure what to do. My friend has made it clear, and I've brought up to the point to her, like, you know, from woman to woman, how could you do that? Not judging her, but just asking her. And she stated that at the end of the day, she's had her fair share of heartbreak from dudes. So now she's just looking out for herself, and it doesn't matter who else is involved. I don't know what to do. Do I hold my friend down? And do I just, let her be happy doing what she's doing? Do I speak to this man's wife? Because I do know her, though we're not friends. She's not my best friend. I'm just really not sure what to do, and I would love some advice from you, Miss Fufu.
That was really loaded. Really, really, really loaded. Okay, well, first things first, do not speak to that man's wife. Like that whole woman to woman shit. Like, I mean, unless you can fight, like, that's my only advice to you on that scenario. Do not speak to that man's wife. Absolutely not.
Mind your business.
Yeah, mind your business. This is very tricky because me personally, when it comes to marriage especially, I take that very, very seriously. So, you know, there was a time, like sometime last year, I made a status that like any married man that slides into my DMs, I'm bringing you to your wife. Like, here, sis, you lost this. Like, I don't know what time y'all niggas are on or what you think this is, but like marriage is different. Like, you stood before God and several other witnesses and made this commitment to be with just this person, and some marriages are different. Maybe some people have open marriages, and that's cool for them. But me personally, like if it's a situation where, you know, she knows that he's not, I mean, niggas don't leave. Niggas do not leave. He's not leaving his wife. He's never going to leave his wife.
And sis, if you get pregnant, he's still not leaving.
He's still not going to leave. Now that's an even more awkward situation that you have brought a child into. Mm-hmm. And now you're going to traumatize this man's children and the wife. Like,
and let's be fair. That man is going to traumatize his own children. You get what I'm saying?
That's what I mean. Like, as a collective. Okay. As a collective. Because honestly, like, it's true. She really doesn't owe his family shit.
And I will say this. I've been in that situation before.
Really?
It was I was in college. This was undergrad. So we're in 2019. This is like 7 or 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. This man was fine. He was fine.
You dealt with a married man?
No, let me state the story.
Perpetual.
Shut up. Shut up. So he was fine. He was fine. And I won't get into too much details because I feel like it'll be easy to trace. Howsoever, this man was married, and I was kind of like, and I knew he was married, but he was fine. And I was tired of dealing with ancient niggas, because that's what.
So you deal with a married man?
Wait. So that's what I'm saying. Because our listener's homegirl, who has blatantly said she does not care because she's been burnt by ancient niggas. Yeah. Like, that hit me. Like, I felt that. Yeah. But I also, for me, like, this guy was married. And so it was just like, I look at it this way, like, he was fine, but he was married. And though I was tired of dealing with ancient niggas, it was like, you're also not shit, sir, because you're married,
exactly.
Right? But the attention was nice.
That's not a solution, though.
It wasn't a solution. And so we hung out a couple of times, and it was dope because we hung out. We never did anything ever. Mm-hmm. But it was dope because we hung out. And I don't know. And maybe, I don't know if it's a social worker of me or just because I'm nosy, but I also was curious. So when we would hang out, we would talk about why he was spending time with me and not with his wife. Like, it was very interesting. And he had I won't go there. But there was he had his wife's name tattooed on him. Like, there was a lot of things. So it was like, clearly they were also like your parents. They had been together forever. Mm-hmm. And when I say forever, it was interesting because this man was under 35 at the time. So it was just like, damn, I also felt for him because it was
he didn't have a host face.
Right. And it was like, damn, I also felt for him because like y'all both did something dumb. Y'all got married way too early where you guys didn't experience your lives. So I'm over here rationalizing, like, and trying to see his positionality. But at the end of the day, he actually turned out to be crazy. So everything worked out. Yeah. And it was funny because a couple of years ago, I want to say like 2-3 years ago, I saw this man at the grocery store. And I'm like, oh, how's your wife? Good to see you. This, that, and the third. And everything was really, really normal.
Niggas hate when you bring up their wives, though. It's like, I have to remind you you're married.
Right.
Like-
right. So but I can see where homegirl is coming from, where she's just like, yo, fuck it. Fuck everybody. I'm going to look out for myself.
I get that mentality. Like, I've been there too, but it's never pushed me to the point where, well, fuck these ain't shit niggas. I'm going to deal with this ain't shit married nigga.
Yeah,
like, I don't see the logic in that.
But let's be clear. Most women, I know women who literally flat out choose to deal with married men because it's like, I don't have to deal with the responsibility.
Why can't you? But I mean, I've heard that aspect too of like dealing with guys that have
And
like
then you
a
have
main girlfriend,
right? And then
but that's
scissors for the weekend. That literally became a thing.
That's a girlfriend though. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, I don't. It doesn't hold the same weight. Girlfriend and wife don't hold the same weight.
They don't hold the same weight.
So and me, someone that believes heavily in karma, like I couldn't see myself act like, saying that I'm gonna go out and seek a married man because I don't want to deal with the other bullshit. Like, there's bullshit there too. Like, you can't be. The whole thing about the whole dick to bomb scenario is the fact that, like, eventually over time, feelings do get wrapped up in it.
And that's why, like, discernment is important and intent is important, because at the end of the day, how you started is not how you're going to finish.
No.
Then you're going to get caught up.
You're going to get caught up. You can say like, oh, it's just a fuck buddy or a friend with benefits thing, but it's like, and I feel like there's differences between those two titles, but at the end of the day, eventually you're going to get caught up. Like, you saying that you want to not deal with ancient niggas anymore and you've been burned too many times, like, why do you think that this scenario is going to end differently for you?
Right. And quite frankly, if you've been dealing with ancient niggas, you might have to, again, and I spoke
Take
about
a look
this.
at yourself.
Yep, because I said this in a couple of episodes. When you have multiple variables and you're the only common denominator,
it might be you.
You got to bring that up to your friend. You need to tell your homegirl that, like, if anything, because yes, we've made it clear, do not talk to this man's wife.
Yeah.
Do not talk to this man's wife. But tell your homegirl, and if anything, I would put boundary on it. Like, I would tell your homegirl, like, yo, I don't want to hear about it anymore.
Yeah, no.
And it's okay for you
it's
to do
true.
that.
Yeah.
You don't. And look at the story I just told. I never told any of my friends about this.
No.
And because it's like you don't do that. And again, like, we talked, and like, in terms of girl code and guy code and all that, like, for me, I just in that situation that I was in, and at that time I was young. I was 21 max. Because I want to say this was like my junior year of undergrad. But I looked at it that way. It was like, damn, like, I'm gonna be somebody's wife someday.
Right.
I don't want that to happen to me.
Exactly.
And so also I think it's good for the listener, for you to encourage your friend to think about it that way. I don't know how old you guys are or anything like that, but I imagine you're around our age, and I just feel like at this point in time, like, I just feel like it's just never that deep.
It's not.
It's just never that deep to be dealing with a married man.
Yeah. Or married woman.
Woman, yep. And
because at the end of the day, whether you have kids or not, you can be separated, you can file for divorce. Like, no one is forcing you to step out on your marriage. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, I already said, she owes that woman and those children nothing. He is the one that is stepping out of his marriage. It's true. Like, this shit should really be on him. Like, he's the one that is the dickhead in this situation. But you as the woman knowing for a fact that, like, he has this wife and whatever, it's like, yeah, you should also know better too.
And for your own self-respect, like, sis, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve a married man. Well, your friend, should we say, doesn't deserve to be with a married man. Why sell yourself short like that when there is mad dicks in the sea?
Yeah.
There's mad dicks in the sea. And guess what?
I mean, they're not all good dicks. But
right, they're not. And guess what? But though, I always wonder, you don't have to stay in Boston. You don't need Boston dicks.
No, you don't.
There's a whole world out there.
It's true.
That's why long distance relationships are also a thing.
I mean, those don't work for me, but yeah.
I've greatly benefited from them.
Yeah, that doesn't really work in my favor. But
So.
yeah, I would truthfully just mind your business. Honestly.
Yeah, because it's not you, it's your homegirl.
Yeah.
And if I were you, honestly, I'd just lay the boundary to be like, nah, I don't want to hear
I don't
want to
hear about it.
I don't want to hear
And
about
when
it.
it blows up in your face, I
Still
don't
want to
hear
about it. And I'm not helping you.
No, because I literally, if she does come, if it was me and she still came to me, I'd be like, I told you so. And that's
Yep.
it.
And
That's
you
all.
are, I told you so ass nigga.
I sure am. I sure the fuck am. Like, I told you this would happen. So, yeah, mind your business. Just honestly, like, definitely don't tell his wife. Even if you do know her, like, that coming from you, someone that is not friends with her, not cool with her, like, that's gonna end horribly. Just incredibly horribly.
Because I'd be like, why the fuck are you telling me this?
And people get shot for less.
Oh.
So tread the fuck lightly.
Yo. People get shot
I don't get
for
in
less.
domestic squabbles. That is exactly
Yo,
how people
do you
get
know my
shot.
mother told me that from a child? Do not get involved in people's relationships.
Hell no.
You don't get involved.
No,
You don't get involved.
that ain't none of my business.
And I mean, I believe, was it the last episode that we made the reference? Like, yo, I'm telling.
Yeah.
I'm rolling up on you.
Yeah.
And I'm telling. And that's only for like your ace boon coons. Like,
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know the wife. Like, you know her, but you don't know her. Like, you don't have an actual relationship with her. And that's why you don't owe it to her to
Right.
say anything. Mind your business.
Right.
As for your friend, tell her you just don't want to hear this shit. Because you clearly don't agree with it. But, you know, sometimes you can talk till you're blue in the face to someone and tell them, like, yo, this is how it's going to end. And they won't learn their lesson until it happens.
Right.
So, you know, I think you just need to set a boundary with her, let her know how you feel, and that you really just don't want to discuss it. Unless she wants your advice on how to end it and how to get out, you don't want to talk about it.
And don't have that conversation more than once.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like if y'all create a game plan for her to get out, the information's all there, sis. If anything, that's what I would tell her. Don't. The only reason you should talk to me about this is when you're ready to end it.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it's okay to do that. And if she decides not to be your friend after that, that's okay too.
It sure is, because you do not have to deal with that stress
Right.
after.
That's too much drama. Nobody needs those problems.
Sure don't.
All right, girl. Thank you so much for writing us in. Please keep us posted.
Yes.
Because this was... y'all better give us all the soap operas.
Ooh, the tea is piping.
Seriously, I feel like our listeners, if they like really built scripts, they could have soap operas multiple.
No,
of their
dead ass.
own.
I hope these are real stories. I mean, they sound legit because it sounds like very like something that I've heard.
I was gonna
or
say
I
we
hear-
all familiar with people
or
who have been in
yeah,
similar
exactly,
situations,
which is exactly
so.
why we don't give y'all names.
So let's get into this pep talk before we get out of here.
Word.
My pep talk turned into a pep rally.
All right, so we've talked about a lot, and our listeners' question definitely prompted this for me, and it's just like, at the end of the day, when you're about to be intimate with a person, what are you thinking about in yourself in regards to that intimacy? Are you looking for somebody to please you? Are you looking to please someone? Are you looking for reciprocation? And the number one question you should be asking yourself, where is it that you find your value? Because your value does not lay between your legs.
Facts.
And that's for both men and women. Your value is not there. And if that is where you find that your value is, and if that is where you think other people need to find your value, that's a problem right there. And you should really consider not being intimate with anyone, because you have some things that are worth exploring, because we're worth way more than just what we have to give physically. And love is not meant to be found. Love is supposed to find you. And I think love, it can be easily acquired when someone truly does the work to love themselves, flaws and all. But if you're not doing that, how is it that you're going to find or attract someone who's going to love you for you if you don't even love yourself? So that's what I have to say in regards to that. Just some food for thought.
Yep.
As always, thank y'all for listening. If you want to get in contact with us, you can catch us by email. That's PEP, the letter N, FUFU @gmail.com. And on IG.
Pep Talks, the letter N, FUFU.
And we will see y'all later.
Peace.
Bye.